I thought John Giannini and his team put us on our heels with an outstanding effort, and it's sad that a team that is winning for 39 minutes and 59 seconds has to go home a loser, and my heart feels for John and his team. I've been with this team 6-7 months, and after all we've been through, I'm still shocked to have a performance like we had today, to come back like we did today. Still shocks me. These guys will forever be shocking me with how poised they are, how selfless they are, how team-oriented they are, what extraordinary teammates they are. So we're thrilled with this victory.
All right, questions for the student athletes?
Tyler, take us through the.
Hold on, Dustin. David, you got mics floating around.
Okay, Tyler, just take us through the last play.
You know, it went by really fast. You know, we brought the ball up. Jack did a good job attacking. Got it to Brian. He passed it to me, and when I looked up, there was about 4 or 5 seconds left. And I just told myself, you know, attack the rim, because, you know, if I attack, someone helps off, I can get a pass to an open shooter. And then, you know, I made a move, got the lane open, saw the shot blocker coming over, and I knew I just had to, you know, get it high enough to get over him and give it a chance to go in. And luckily for us, it did.
Scott.
Jack, you guys were down 13 coming right out of halftime. They made 2 buckets, and then you hit those 2 threes, which really started the trend for you guys to break it back into single digits. Just talk about the mentality of coming out in the second half.
Yeah, we always think about coming out second half as momentum. We want to get the momentum of the game switched in our end, and we hadn't had it for much of the first half. So we had to, coach just tells us to run our offense, and if we hit singles, we'll get open shots, and we got open shots, and we were lucky enough to make them.
Tyler, I was looking at the vine here, and the ball lands kind of awkwardly on the rim. Were you going for glass, or were you trying to just scoop it in? I mean, did it feel right as it was coming off your fingers? How uncertain or certain were you?
You know, I don't know if I was going for glass or not. You know, one thing, you know, we do in practice a lot was Coach always tells us to shoot it high. Because if you shoot it high, it gives it a better chance to go in the basket. And when I saw the shot blocker coming over, you know, I definitely knew I had to get as high as I could. But yeah, I don't think I was going for either one. When I shot it, I knew I had a chance to go in, and luckily it did.
When you get the rebound, any thoughts of a timeout? Coach didn't call it, but even late in the shot clock, you're out pretty far. Any thoughts of a timeout at that point?
Yeah, I did have some thoughts. You know, I just was trusting Coach would put us in the best situation to win the game. And, you know, when Jack was bringing it up and he didn't call a timeout, you know, I knew, you know, we just had to attack, and that's what we did.
Tyler, at any level, have you had a game winner?
I have. The last game winner I think I had was middle school, so it was a while ago.
And was it even remotely comparable?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Do you remember it at all?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was in our like little city tournament in the semifinals, and it was just a putback. And you know, it was pretty special. But you know, I've been on a lot of teams, and this is probably one of the most special teams I've been on. So you know, this one was pretty special.
Jack, I'd like you to go through that sequence on you guys had a 5-point possession there. Could have been a 6-point possession, but you're made that 3 after Tyler's miss. You guys had some free throw issues today, but managed to fight through. Talk about those 30 seconds.
Yeah, we got to the line, made one. Jordan came up big with the rebound, and then we went in the timeout, and Coach drew up a play, and they went under the screen, so I popped back and saw the guy closing out, and lucky enough I was able to get it go over his outstretched arms, and lucky enough to go in.
Any other questions for student athletes? All right, gentlemen, thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, questions for Coach McKillop. Start back here.
Coach, going back to the non-timeout call, is that a philosophy of yours, or you just play it by ear?
The way they were defending us, we were having a lot of time to create offense. And when you get a team in transition, backpedaling, no communication from the bench because it's far away, our guys are talented enough that they could make plays. And with Jack on the court and Brian on the court and Tyler on the court, I had the trust in them And that's probably the biggest word, trust, that I trusted something was going to happen.
Len?
Bob, you've said it a couple of times this season, you just said it now, that this is a special group. When did you first begin to sense that, and why?
When we were, it happened in late November and in early December. We had games in a 1-week span against Central Florida at Central Florida and Montana at Montana. Now, if you look at the records of those two teams, they didn't have banner years. But we had outstanding performances in very difficult environments. Montana was 2 plane trips. It was, and in both of those games, those teams came after us and knocked us to the mat hard. And we responded back blow for blow, and then went and fought out of the center ring and got them on the ropes and kept them there. I came back from Montana, and if anyone ever heard the post-game press conference at Montana on the radio, I was exhilarated. I was exuberant. I was just out of my mind with how thrilling our guys were. We put 110 points on the board, and they made great plays, Montana. They just hit us and hit us and hit us, and we'd come back and make a great play. Then they'd make one, and we'd make one, and it went back and forth. And I said, wow, these guys are pretty special. And then we go up to Charlottesville about 2-3 weeks later, and we went blow to blow with Virginia. And, you know, we didn't have Jordan in that game. He had a concussion. Jake Belford had just tore his ACL, so he was out. And we went blow to blow with them for about 32, 33 minutes. So as we turned a new year entering this conference, I said, you know, we might have something pretty special here.
Coach, everyone's going to remember Tyler's shot, but for the final 451, you hold him without a single point. Can you talk about the defensive effort?
Yeah, I credit our assistant coaches. They were masters at changing defenses and getting the right matchups in there. My assistant coaches are extraordinary. Absolutely extraordinary.
Bob, what were you able to do early on and throughout most of the first half? They obviously wanted to go down low with their big guys. What were you able to do to kind of counter that?
Well, we came out in the second half and we played the post entry a little bit differently. We had played on the top shoulder of the post, and then we sat behind his butt after that, so that when he did catch it, at least he wasn't in a position where he was sliding off of us. We had actually put a wall up so that his only option was to turn into the paint rather than drop baseline. And I think that Andrew McAuliffe came off the bench and used his bulk and size to really be a force doing that.
Back here.
Coach, why has this small lineup been so effective for you guys?
Because all 5 of them can make plays. You see Jordan can put it on the floor and really get to the rim. Peyton Aldridge can handle close to a guard and can shoot the ball from 3. And, of course, the 3 other guys are point guards, shooting guards, body guards, lead guards, whatever you want to call them.
Justin?
How big was the shot right at the end of the half? It got you to 9.
Well, I think the 2 possessions at the end of the half that got us, I think it was back-to-back threes, we went into the locker room, and we have this thing called Big Mo. We want to go into the locker room in that last minute and really dominate that last minute. So I walk into the locker room and I'm, yay! And they walk into the locker room, what kind of halftime talk are you going to have? Well, mine's going to be pretty uplifting. What's theirs going to be like, you took that. So that's our whole theory.
How do I write that? I don't.
I don't know, that's right. We'll see how the coach service does that right here, please.
Bob, you went 1-3-1 toward the end. Is that the assistants too come up with that? And
Yes,
you
they
plan
did.
on standing
Yeah.
as long as you
they,
do?
They, in fact, on our last possession, we were going to go man, and Matt and Will, the 3 of them just says, well, we're 4-4 on 1. Let's stay with the 1-3-1. It was them. It was completely the assistant's call. And there's the trust factor again. You know, I'm trusting these guys, and it's extraordinary to have that relationship.
All right, anyone else? All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thanks.